Hello and welcome to the Radiant Black Podcast. I'm your host Bash, and I'm joined by my fellow friends and co-hosts Charlie and Ali. Where it's time to get shifty.
Hell yeah! That's a little different. I like it. Yeah, can't wait to get into these couple stories. Doing well. It's crazy time to be a comic book fan. We got Aquaman out this weekend for anyone looking forward to that. Yeah, can't wait to get into this.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I'm sure it is for most people with the holiday season coming up. But it's good to get some green around this time of year, if you know what I mean.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! As you can see, we're on theme with the green and also obviously the festivities. But yeah, you guys. So I guess an early Merry Christmas from us to the viewers and the listeners. It's the holiday seasons, the Christmas time, and of course a Happy New Year. And may I even say a shifty New Year? So yeah, you guys enjoying the holidays?
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, it's actually so easy. Like this year, normally, I kind of people ask me, my brother will ask me, "What do you want for Christmas?" I have no idea. Now I just send them the link to the Black Market Narrative site.
right,
Now we
right.
good. Pick what you want,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're good to go. Yeah, so yeah, doing good and gearing up for Christmas, and yeah, this was a kind of a exciting drop to kind of keep us tided over for sure until the next issue of Radiant Black.
Oh yeah. So yeah, let's get into the issue, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, so of course I've got here for you the folder containing everything. So I'll share my screen. Woo. All right. So we'll start with the exclusive variant. This is the exclusive by Deegan Pecors. I'm not entirely sure which store did the exclusive, but you can do find that out with a quick Google. But yeah, Deegan Pecors, we've had him on the podcast before. Awesome guy. Great cover artist. He loves to do the pinup style, and I think he nailed it with this one. Gorgeous stuff. What do you guys think?
I think this is the first time I've seen this cover, to be honest, and it's fantastic. Yeah, I love it. I love Radiant Black on there too. Is this the only cover featuring Radiant Black?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe.
The other one
No, the
doesn't
main
have.
one. The main one. He's
Oh yeah,
holding
he's in
his
the
Yeah.
hand. He's
I
in the
guess he's
hand.
he's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
but yeah, no, this is great for sure, and kind of has that Niculo style a little bit, like more cartoony a little bit, but yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, amazing stuff. So yeah, check that out, guys. If you want to support Deegan, he's an awesome artist. Just awesome cover if you want to get it. It's the only exclusive variant for this issue. And here, this is not the actual cover because the cover has a trade dress, but this is the Radiant Black ratio done by Igor Monti. Oh, amazing stuff, Igor Monti. He's not only a colorist; he's an amazing artist too. What do you guys think about this?
I love that. I mean, I picked up the original ratio, and I already picked up this one, so it's always good to have two. Now you have one with the trade dress and one without.
Yeah, easily best colorist in the game for me. This guy made me read a book about jazz, so I love this guy, and everything he does, I love. So yeah, I love this one, and definitely had to pick this one up out of all of them for me personally.
Yeah, I've grabbed this ratio as well right when it came out. I think definitely one of the best ratios in the whole massiveverse. Just really strong cover, incredible stuff. It even reminds me of playing Arkham City, like little scarecrow moments when you're in the other worlds or things like that. It's creepy, and even like the Miles game, the recent the Miles mini game in the recent Spider-Man 2, like when he's fighting
It's
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Yeah, very cool stuff. So here's the Daniele Di Nuculo cover B variant, which was open order and same price as cover A, and it is a virgin cover, so this is exactly what it looked like. And these were square bound books like Supermassive. So yeah, anyone grab this?
I did not. Yeah, it's kind of been a struggle for me since my comic shop shut down. So yeah, that's a really sweet one though.
Yeah, I did not grab it because I did not know it existed. I thought the only cover was the Deegan exclusive one,
Good reason.
so I'm kind of
It's a good
disappointed in
reason.
myself. But I'll be seeing where I can pick that up soon.
Yeah, I pre-ordered this one. Like Daniele's honestly definitely one of my favorite artists. You guys know we talked about this way early on in the show. We said who's the one artist we wish we could do Massiveverse stuff, and it was Daniele. And here it is. So definitely grab this. And here's the cover A with the full trade dress and everything. This is exactly how it looks if you picked up the standard cover, and it's gorgeous.
Beautiful logo there. It just the eye there. Yeah, beautiful. Sue always nails it.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Obviously, we have a big creative team because there's several stories, and what this issue collects is there were 4 mini chapters or mini issues that were collected throughout 4 issues of the Image anthology book that came out a year or two ago, and that was an expensive book. I think each issue was $5.99 because they gave you different anthology stories from a bunch of different image creators.
It was
different
like
books.
big page size too, right? It wasn't like a regular
Yeah.
comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looked like it looks like a big supermassive. So it was like thick. Yeah, it was a really thick boy. It's like the same
Yeah.
size as something like Supermassive. So yeah, they were. If you were like a Massiveverse fan, it was a hard sell on like a $6 book just to get
It
like a
was.
4 issue.
Except
Yeah, so
except that first issue. That cover was pretty sweet. Yeah,
that's
we had
true.
our
The
boy
Radiant
Radiant
Black reading
Black
the
on the
card.
front.
Oh
Yeah, we had him on the
yeah.
we
That's
had him on the
iconic.
cover there. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think, in my opinion, definitely pick this book up for a lot of people because I've seen the chatter recently that a lot of people are saying, A, they didn't even know those stories existed. So there's that. And then B, a lot of people, when I posted this image on social medias and the other socials of Reading Black podcast, they were surprised there was even a shift like collected at all or shift anything. So a lot of people found out for the first time just seeing the image. And I
Yeah.
think that's interesting, you know?
I think that could be a good thing in some ways, considering like they've tried so hard to make it so you don't have to read everything, right? Like you can read things individually. So I do like in a way where this is also like it's an add-on for Guy if you really like that character for sure, and it adds a lot of stuff in the Massiveverse, but it's definitely not like 100% necessary to like Catalyst War or anything. Actually, the new one might.
Yeah, the new one.
We'll spoil. Yeah, there's spoilers for the
Yeah.
new one, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the creative team, and then we'll talk about the issues. And what we'll do is we're not going to show any images from any of the issues. We're just going to summarize each of the chapters quickly and talk about what the real like outcome was, and then what we think, and we'll move on to the final one where we'll talk about it with a deeper analysis. But yeah, we've got writer Kyle Higgins, artist Daniele Vinuculo, Francesco Mana, Danilo Beyruth, Geraldo Borges, Chris Evanwees, and then colorist Walter Bayamonte, Marcelo Costa, Mark Englert, who recolored Chapter 3. The first time this was printed in Image, it was not colored by Mark Englert. And then Sean Vehers. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And then we have letterers Becca Carey and, the legendary Diego Sanchez, who's actually creating a pixelated game. Not even kidding. And then cover artist Igor Monti, editor and designer, the amazing Michael Basuto, and production artist Wesley Griffith, who I got to say, I don't know if Wesley Griffith did I think Michael probably did the logo, the Shift logo, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know. But whoever did the Shift logo, another sleek, amazing like logo in the Massiveverse. It just like fits right in, looks incredible. Yeah. It has its own thing, but it's so simple, so elegant. Anyway, so yeah, guys, what was the first chapter pretty much about?
The first chapter is mainly just getting to a closer look at what Guy's life was before he became Shift. And I love how the first page is basically an homage to Radiant Black #1, right? He's in the car, he's talking about money, he's trying to get his money. Nathan was trying to, pay off his debt. It's essentially the same thing, except Guy, he had the balls or the confidence, whatever you want to call it, to stand up for them and be like, where's my fucking money?
Yeah. Yeah, it really shows that all these problems that they're dealing with are relatable to everyone, right? Like, like good guys, bad guys. It can shape people certain ways, like just these bad situations. But no, this first story was fantastic. Just he's just kind of getting hired by the government, and we see our boys Jace and I forget the other guy's name,
Riley,
Riley and Greg. We got Greg here too.
Yeah,
and they're kind of all just brought in here to they're hired to start cloning this tech and try to start getting this stuff out, and just see if they can start cloning it and selling it and I guess make a quick buck. But I guess we also learn some more stuff about that this is potentially the Franklin group. Is that correct? Was I the only one who came away with that?
What?
The Franklin group.
The Franklin
group.
Like
the Franklin group from the latest issue of Radiant Black.
Right.
They're the group who made all those clone trooper things. And they seem like this was the first stage of that. So they have to start cloning this tech, and so they're trying to just kind of weaponize this thing because there's a bigger threat out there, so they want to keep themselves safe.
Yeah, so this was actually teasing Catalyst War then in a lot of ways.
Then. Yeah, these few issues, a lot of stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of this stuff did. I forgot so much of this stuff, but yeah, we first meeting with Radiant Black too. Well, first chronological, I guess,
Yeah.
meeting. But yeah, no, it was cool. He's sent in. He's got to get close to the Radiant just to charge up his battery, and it was great banter between them. He's just trying to sneak away, just get his battery charged up. But it's great, and obviously Shift murders his boss at the end, like the guy who hires him.
Dude, that page.
That was a
Woo.
great moment. That was a
Amazing
great
page.
moment, and
Dude,
yeah,
that's the
really
best
set the
Shift
guy.
page ever. I
Yes,
think.
yes,
I
I
really do
agree.
think so. Like
Yeah, I
with the
agree.
slash and
Yeah.
then him walking away with like the thumb pointing at himself. Like that's iconic, man. For
Yeah.
Shift.
Right.
Like look at that. Like the blurry face. Oh my god, man. Daniele
Yeah.
just slayed. Like this. That's just incredible. Like that's like the perfect way to close out that first chapter, right?
Yeah.
No, for sure,
Couldn't
for
have said
sure.
it better.
We get the first look at the suit,
And that's
like,
Morrow,
the
right?
suit
Like
looks
that's
great.
Morrow. They're trying to co-opt.
Yes,
this tech.
Greg worked for Morrow.
Yeah.
He just
Yep.
didn't want to
Yeah,
bring it to them.
There was a lot of
Yep.
Morrow stuff, and even some things in here in the later issues that kind of lead into the Dead Lucky stuff. Which, like, I just forgot so much of this stuff, but that's why this series is so great. Like, even reading through any of these series, reading Black the first time, but yeah, even the second issue. Just want to say, love to see Marcelo back on colors.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did a fucking fantastic job, and yeah, Francesco Mana on here too. Kind of see him back since the first time since Supermassive, so that's
Yeah.
good to see as well.
And yeah, working with Danilo Beirut too, like that's a lethal combo, honestly.
Yeah.
And like the colors, yeah, Marcelo on colors, man. He like brings a totally different dynamic to it. I love how there's like one thing you can really appreciate between each story is not only are they like completely different chapters, though they do pick up from the last one in a lot of ways, but the art, like the art really makes it feel like different days, different time. You know what I mean? Like it really gives it like a lived in feeling. So it's really cool to have that distinction in art between the chapters. But yeah, chapter 2, launch day. This one we see that it's about Shift trying to make some money, right? You guys mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
They're trying to. They need to bankroll this new operation now. They not only need recruits, but they need money too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also get our first hint of Morrow. Like his basically guy has an agent. I don't know why he has an agent, what this agent's for. But his agent calls him, his contact name on his phone is agent, and he says Morrow wants you. Morrow wants you. Morrow wants you for this this job, and they want you to kill Dowler Chatterby. Very, very interesting name. So yeah, this was just a great setup. Meeting Zhao, obviously for the first time, kind of going into the heist here. But
if you want to get nasty, that's XM.
yes, yeah, no, he was great, and I think this was probably the most I've ever enjoyed his character. To be honest, like just seeing him, kind of gain guys' trust over time, like. The last thing he wanted to do was have a partner for this. Like, guy just didn't want a partner when he found out he was going to have a partner for this mission. He hated it. But kind of he saw Zhao was pretty good, and he knew his stuff. So yeah, it was awesome to just see him gain his trust.
I agree.
But yeah. I think Zhao is probably the second. I would say he's the second smartest. Well, Doppler's. I'm just thinking of like the hierarchy here. Like you got Sheer, like he's kind of lower tier for me, but Zhao, he's they kind of run things here. It kind of looks like.
Yeah, we can see that it starts off as like it's like a lethal weapon sort of relationship, right? Like they're they don't like each other, but then they kind of grow on each other. They do handle the mission very expertly. It's an easy mission, and as we see for Shift, it's a little personal because he hates strategy apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And real quick, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to head out, but
okay.
I'm gonna let these two gentlemen continue with the pod. Just real quick, great issue, and I can't wait to hear what you guys say, especially about the new stuff that was added in at the end. So take it home, boys.
Hell yeah. Take it easy, dude. All right. So yeah. Yeah, just back at it. It's cool seeing Shift action here. it seems like they were having a lot of problems at the beginning of this issue of the alien tech shifting through materials that were foreign to its structure, I guess. Like it wasn't good of passing through our walls, like earth materials, I guess. So they're trying to work on the energy consumption aspect of the suit, and I love that whole thing. But I also I just wanted to point out, before getting too much into it, I love how all these issues set up these villains without the suits, you know, like we see them first without the suits, like we see Guy without the suits, and we kind of see them evolve into that. So yeah, we kind of get some of their origins in a way. Still a lot left off the table for Guy. We'll talk later, but yeah, Zhao, this was the issue that I think really made me like his character more.
Yeah, I love how he calls him "you Brazilian bastard."
Yeah, he calls him Joe. He calls him Joe, right? He calls him Joe. What a dick! But yeah, no,
yeah,
it's
Shifty's such a dick.
yeah, and I love that. My favorite part about this issue was the whole time, basically the whole time, guys like Chatterjee is my guy. He's my kill. Like I know this guy. He's mine. And they finally get to Chatterjee, and Zhao pops him in the head. And well, he has a gun. Chatterjee has a gun trained on Guy, so he's not in the best position. But Zhao kills him. That's when he calls him a Brazilian bastard. And I just love this moment where Guy, he says, "Screw it, you're right." And that's when I really feel he's kind of gains that trust for Zhao, and he's like, "Okay, I can work with this guy."
Yeah. I love the final panel of the second chapter right now, as he just puts on his hood and he's like his mask is slowly poking on.
I'm not sure who did that art, but yeah, there was a couple panels throughout where he has that half mask. Like I think this artist did that more, so you could just see his eyes. Yeah, it looks super cool. For sure.
So yeah, as we can see, like not only does he want to get paid, but he wants to do it, testing out the new tech, building a brand. So we can see the beginning of the crumbs here in terms of building a brand, and we're going to explore that more in the next chapter, which is chapter 3, Working Capital. So here's your favorite, according to you, D-lister villain Sheer right here.
Oh,
no mask.
Very D-list is kind. No, I know. Not kidding. He's great. He's got his part. He's got his place in the story. But yeah, he's a little annoying. But yeah, no, it was cool seeing him without this. And I actually totally forgot Geraldo was even on this issue. So yeah, that was just cool to kind of go back and see him draw a Guy and some of these other characters that are kind of different from No One a little bit.
Yeah, I love seeing them out of costume. I can't remember who we chose as cast for Sheer, but yeah, like I feel like we picked some good ones.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah. Because everyone else was so compelling, so we just forgot him,
Yeah, because Chase Crawford, that was Ali Shear. I know that the guy who played the Deep.
That was a good one.
That was my Braden. I ended up switching that. So yeah, not sure.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah,
this one's the first Richard Rowe though, right? The setting up of the Richard Rowe. Yeah.
Very yeah, I guess it's fitting, right? Since we have Geraldo as well drawing this. In No One, obviously the artist of No One. So yeah, it was cool seeing this, and man, he draws a cool shift. Like he draws a badass superhero like No One, and I'm still a few issues behind, but just anytime you see him, it's kind of a more special event in those issues. Like you don't get to see him as much. But man, he the way he draws kind of the energy on Shift and stuff. I want to see him draw more for sure.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like when we know that Mark Engler recolored this issue or this chapter to make it more
you were mentioning that. That is cool, and I think that's why the first time, like, it kind of slipped over my head. Like when I was reading No One, I totally forgot about this issue, and I think like reading back over it, I'm like, oh, like this is like I didn't even read Geraldo's name before, but just looking at it right away, you're like, okay, this is very similar, and I think that's a great idea too.
Yeah, that panel where he just like he's running into the he picks up the assignment, he agrees to do it, whatever. He goes and he jumps and he's in the civilian clothes, but in the next panel he just like falls down and he's in the Shift armor. It's so cool.
Yeah, Yeah, and
Hey guys, it's super cinematic.
yeah, yeah, no, and I love how we get his name Lucas, right? His name's Lucas. Shear's name, I did not know that as well. Lucas with a K is Shear's name, which is kind of weird. But I love how he was also like he's kind of promoting himself, as we've seen in the book. He wants to start promoting their brand a little more and kind of do that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's got his role in this for sure. I don't have to love him all the time, but he's in there, and I do enjoy him in here, and I love how I don't know if it's as prominent on the other issues, but Guy's eyes are very green in this issue too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. And then you guys have seen, first of all, love that page where he's going through the locker room full of cops and like without trying to get busted. That bottom, like Geraldo Boras, like kills it in this issue. He's amazing. But yeah, man,
We've seen him do
this
kind of stuff in Nightwing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he did a lot of that kind of stuff in Nightwing, like that transition art. So yeah, I love that. Great point.
Yeah, and like we're lucky to have such a wide and expansive and diverse range of artists in the Massiverse. And seeing Geraldo do No One, he's killing it, man. Like I honestly think it's some of his career's best work. He's really, really killing on No One. So if you haven't been reading No One and you read this story and it got you intrigued, that's a good place to go next. Check out the No One series in the Massiverse.
Yeah. So yeah, Zhao here, he's basically he kind of wants to get the word out, but also he wants to start getting money here, and he wants to take this job where basically they've heard of this copycat killer, I guess, or they're not called the copycat killer now, but we hear in this issue that Richard Rowe has killed someone, and basically Lucas or Shear wants Guy to break in to get a confession, pretty much from Richard Rowe. And just seeing Richard Rowe for the first time, it's such a nothing thing seeing this at first, because like you don't know it's going into anything. But I remember Bash, you're the first one that pointed it out, is like, oh, I'm no one, where Richard Rowe says, oh, I'm no one, and that was just I don't know, a very heavy line. Like it definitely, it could mean so many things. But I just love this kind of, he breaks in, sees Richard Rowe, and he just tells him straight up, I'm Aaron James Kern, and he just says, I've been waiting for the right person to ask. And he says, so who are you? Oh, I'm no one. So that's that was a great line there, and funny too. Freaking Sheer pukes out a pin to break out. That was a great scene. We see his mask is also like more pure energy, right? Like it kind of expands around his mouth, kind of like the Radiant Black when he's actually no Radiant Black. He's just thrown up through the mask, but here it at least opens up for him. But yeah, no, this was a cool heist issue. Set up a lot of cool things, and art was fantastic.
Yeah, totally. And it's I think. Do you think that Elaine, is it her name? Nicole Gaines or something like that? No, that's is it? I forget her name. The reporter for the No One. Yeah,
it's been too long since I've read that book.
Me too. Like that issue's been delayed.
Yeah.
I guess but the reporter. Do you think she got the evidence from Shift? Do you think like she bought it from? Is it Julia Page?
Julia Page. Yes,
she's one of them.
And I like that. Yeah, no, I actually really like that. Didn't even think about that. But yeah, I guess if she's got the deep pockets, Shift will take the highest bidder for sure.
Oh, Danielle Gaines. Yeah, it's Danielle Gaines. Yeah, that's the other reporter. Yeah, so yeah, Danielle Gaines. Do we think that she got the evidence from Shift? Because I feel like that's a strong possibility.
No, I think that is. I think that is, and just reading over this, just seeing how much he's setting up here, I totally think that's the case for sure. And setting up, and I love how that they're setting up the suits too. So now he promised one to Sheer, or Sheer wants one, but he told one he'd give it. He told Zhao he'd give him one. But it basically seems like now they're trying to start this business, right, where they're basically renting out these suits, and now they can charge for the maintenance and the recharging of these suits, and they can make a quick buck off them. So I guess Guy, like Guy's
Dude, wouldn't it be
kinda,
crazy if wouldn't it be crazy if they also gave Aaron a suit at this point and he's no one because of that, because his gear also looks like it, and then this whole time the
he's
whole
able to
idea,
shift out, right?
yeah, it's to
He can
start a
get out whenever the
movement and
fuck he
everything.
wants.
Yeah, and then instead of the 5 syndicate, it's the 6 syndicate. Oh, wouldn't that be
Jeez,
crazy?
jeez,
Wouldn't that
that
be
would
like
be
next level?
yeah. No, I
That's like pure
fuck with
crackpot
it.
theory, but wouldn't that be? Yeah, I do fuck with
I
it too.
fuck
That
with
would
it.
be
Yeah,
amazing.
no,
Yeah, that would
I
be
love
like,
crackpot theories, and I like
mm,
that one especially. So yeah, no, I'd totally be in for that, for
yeah.
sure. And I actually don't know. Do you know the artist on the next issue 4?
Issue 4, yeah, Chris Evans.
Yes, that so clean. I don't know. It gave
This was a
me
really
Bruno Redondo
amazing issue.
vibes. Gave me
Yeah,
Bruno Redondo vibes a little bit.
100%.
Very
Yeah,
clean lines. Very yeah. I love the way he drew the characters here, and I love this issue. Wasn't action packed or anything. It was just two characters kind of sitting down, and we get to learn more about them, and that's my favorite stuff in comics, and that's what I
the
love. And we
the
get a lot,
lettering
we
was
learn a
amazing.
lot about Guy in this issue, I find.
I wonder who did the music lettering, because the way that those panels are
Yes,
interpreted are
that's what.
amazing.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was curious what the song is too. I'm not sure if they actually said the song, but I don't know. Like I'm sure if you actually like, I'm curious if you can actually play out these notes, and I'm sure you could. But yeah, it's super well done, and you see like the first panel too. You see Guy. Um, I presume this is before he became Shift, before everything, and you see him just kind of in the forest with a gunshot in his chest, and you see him wake up from a nightmare with this music, and this like this issue, it really gave me Memento vibes, big time. Guy. I don't know if you've
Mhm.
seen Memento with Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah, of
This,
course.
yeah, he and obviously they actually reference to it directly. But yeah, Guy, this issue really made Guy that much better of a character for me. Just knowing all this past, and him just being confused, also realizing here that his eyes are gray, so his eyes are a different color in this issue,
Mm.
than the last issue. So that's kind of odd. But yeah, what
This
do you
is
think of this art and this whole issue in general? The intro and stuff.
I thought it was great. Like, I really enjoyed this issue. I thought honestly it was probably overall the best one of the first 4.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'd agree. And
Yeah.
it made me want to see the lead up to this too. Like I
Mhm.
wanted to see the lead up to this, like how they actually met. Like you presume they kind of knew each other before, or they kind of just met at a bar, or we don't really know how they linked up.
Hmm.
So I would kind of I would kind of like
Here,
to see that.
let's zoom out a little bit. I agree with your analysis, but I also think like when you look back at the chapters, each one established something that mattered in the future. The first one established the way that they were able to get their technology. The second one established the way that they were able to get their funding and meet each other. And then the third one established what he called it, how the others got their branding and no one and the money. And the fourth one, what is it going to establish for the future? Right? Like that's what I'm thinking now. What is this? How is this going to matter down the line? Because they didn't just give it to us for no reason. It's like
Yeah,
obviously the immediate reaction is like to show that there's a deeper connection. I mean, you learn, of course, more about each individual, and there's a deeper connection between him and Doppler, but and Anya, sorry, yeah. But what's the like? What do you think is going to be the setup for the future? I feel like there's some digging we have to do.
yeah. I think it's just more Guy's past, like just learning what happened to Guy and what kind of spoilers, like what the whole relationship with Kieran and the post office and Guy have been setting up this whole time. I
Mhm.
think has kind of been a thing. But yeah, no, I love like, and I just would have loved to see the setup so much, just because I love the interaction between these characters, and obviously it's an anthology. You can only give so much, but I just love their dynamic so much, and just talking about like the tattoos and stuff, and him just not knowing about it, and him not really caring. What do you think of that? Did you think anything of that? Is he knows he has some lost memories from the past, but it doesn't seem to bother him, and he doesn't really want to know. Kind of like Mobius from Loki season 2. Like
Mhm.
he's kind of better not knowing than seeing something beyond and wanting that. So yeah, what do
Mhm.
you kind of think of that aspect?
It gave me like it definitely makes Shift. I feel like arguably the most interesting person in the Massiveverse because like yeah,
Yeah,
he has
honestly,
a yeah, he has a
yeah,
weird past, and the thing is, he could be anyone. He could be like 001, or he could be like
yeah.
just a
Remember,
random dude.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He could
I'm
just be
still kind of
anyone.
on that 001 train. I am
Yeah.
still kind of on that, like a lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that technology is too similar. But yeah,
Yeah. Plus, he's a
that
sneaky
would be
mother.
crazy.
He's a sneaky mofo, man. Like, how do we think that he's not gonna like? Let's say he shows up during Catalyst War, which I would say, spoiler, like given the newest like chapter, which is right after this one, chapter 5, there's a very strong possibility, and you could almost say
Yes,
one could almost say it's a setup. So, given that he's going to show up in Catalyst War, I feel like if there's an opportunity for him to somehow usurp a Radiant, he would obviously do it. And then even if there wasn't, I feel like if he's to make a huge gesture during the Catalyst War, a really big one, how do we know that Catalyst won't just, or Premier and Catalyst won't just consider him as well, given he looks like a better candidate, right? Like I'm just saying things
exactly.
like random things like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I totally think that's a possibility, and I just like just going back and just seeing the things he sets up. I don't put anything past Kyle really. But
Hmm.
yeah, this here, like I don't know what movie they talk about here. They says or Anya says you have tattoos and you don't remember and you call yourself Guy. That's literally the movie, the memory one.
Memento.
I assume
Yeah.
she's talking about that, but Guy Pearce is the guy's real name. In the movie his name's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
His
Because
movie his
they
name's
can't.
Leonard.
Yeah, they
So I
can't
guess they
blend
just
it.
changed it
Yeah,
up
yeah,
for that. So okay.
yeah, 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 100%. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was great. And yeah, I think and that movie is so interesting in that aspect. And Guy, I think is very much like that. And
Hmm.
I'm just curious to see what he set up, and does he have a positive past? Does he have like did he want to kind of delete his memory to kind of forget something good, or did he want to delete to forget something bad, or was he taken? Was he forced to forget this stuff?
Maybe
So
we need
yeah,
to rewatch Memento, do a Patreon review, and then,
I would
and
be
then we
so
can
down. I would
do the
fucking love
analysis.
that.
Yeah, I haven't
That
seen
movie
that
is
movie in a
so
long time.
dude,
Yeah,
that movie, every time you
I
watch it,
actually
it's
own
like
that
fuck.
movie.
Every time you watch it, it's so much better
I'm
and
pretty
better.
sure I own that movie. Like
Oh,
so,
really?
like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Like, dude, that's a movie I've seen like when I was in high school. So I
Yeah.
really, yeah, it's a good one. I've
It
seen
is
all
a
of
very good
Nolan's
one.
movies, like
Yeah,
all of them.
I just did a rewatch before Oppenheimer, obviously, but yeah,
Yeah,
no, he has some killer. I would say Memento and Interstellar are my two.
yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I have Interstellar as well. I don't know if it's here, but I definitely have. Yeah,
classic.
yeah, great movie. Yeah.
Actually, kind of a quickly a shout out to Firepower Podcast. We had a quick mention of Interstellar,
Oh yeah,
so
of course.
go
Gotta
check
plug.
out that, and yeah, we're finishing that out. So yeah, I love we get Anya here, and kind of back to that, she gets her suit for the first time.
Mhm.
We kind of see, but also real quick before we get to that, I thought it was interesting that Guy seems to know. So Anya, she obviously, I don't know what disease she has, but she has these tremors where she can't control some of her limbs, like she's having these tremors. But it seems like Guy knows the doctor that Anya goes to. So I think that's also an interesting aspect. Like, how much of a history do these people have? I have no
Mm.
idea. It kind of makes me think not that much, because then she's asking like, oh, what these tattoos mean. Like sometimes it doesn't really think they know each other too well. But yeah, I just their dynamic is great.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I want to see more of this in the future. Hopefully, like the dynamic between the two of them. Yeah, and yeah, let me just check real quick. Was it the colorist whose name I butchered at the beginning.
The
Color this
coloring,
one.
yeah, that was
Sean Vayers. Yeah, this is a really gorgeous issue. This is
Yeah.
like a really good issue. Like it's just a really good comic book. This mini comic, this chapter 4. They're all great, but this one in particular is just like truly excellent. There's just something really masterful about it. It's such a well crafted story, and it takes up like the perfect amount of space. It flows perfectly. The colors, the change of pace in terms of art and colors are like exactly what you need for something that feels more of like a slice of lifey thing in a lot of ways. So yeah, like I don't know, it's a really good issue. But yeah, chapter 5. I think we're back with Daniele Dunaculo on art for chapter 5, and then we have the color. Who's the colorist for this one? It says Walter Bamonte. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we have the
Also,
classic.
also, real quick, I just think it's kind of cool. It was kind of cool to me that Doppler didn't know why she was getting this armor. Like she was having these tremors, and she was given this armor to kind of help with the tremors, and it helped. And then she's like, the tremors stopped, and then she's like, "Why did you say you gave this to me again?" So it kind of shows guy is he's trying to rack up a squad here. So yeah, that was very cool. So yeah, back to number 5, getting Akulo back. That was very awesome. Just always great to see him on these books. And yeah, that was we're getting a lot of mentions of the anime or the manga that was on his bed too. Love that touch in there. And yeah, it was a cool setup. Seeing this is the first time we've actually seen the post office, correct?
Yes, and it looks like your typical like federal government building, I feel like, but on the inside it's somehow like it's like a mall. I don't know how to explain it. There's escalators.
It's got an escalator. Yeah, no, it looks like an abandoned mall for sure.
Yeah,
it very much does.
It's really funny how they have it's like that Suicide Squad movie where they had Harley in the cage. It's like that's
you know yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, they call him a techno T word on the news, and so that's well indirectly because they're not referencing him, but yeah. So they say that they sold this advanced weaponry derived from the 001 papers, and they mention again good connection. You guys mentioned earlier the Franklin Group.
Totally didn't catch that. They are here guarding them. They are here guarding them. That is the first appearance of the group. So yeah, it doesn't really show like they don't look as Radiant Black there as they do in the recent Radiant Black issues, but that's the first appearance of our Dark Troopers suits. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. And yeah, you can see our famous Kieran steps in and antagonizes Shift, which I don't think is really smart. Like, Guy is a pretty interesting guy. So coming up to him and just messing with him when he's pissed and clearly, he needs, he wants an out. We get some antagonization, some bullying, and then to make it, to really add insult to injury, Kieran literally, and this was really ballsy. He takes the Shift armor, which he just tells Shift that he fixed, puts it on, and then walks up to his face.
How do you think he looked? He's looking pretty bad. What do you think of the Kieran Shift here? Do you think he could join Catalyst War and hold his own, or what?
Bit of a chubby Shift, but I dig it.
He's Shift's gained a couple pounds, but no, he's no. This was a great scene and a great setup. Like we could tell, like even in the first issue of the anthology, we knew that Guy he got fired from Dynamech, or he quit there for a very good reason, and we find out the reason seems to be Kieran here. So I think that's very cool that they have this history. And I don't know if anyone thought this, but it just seems so obvious in a way that this was the setup, and it's so great.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
how do you think he stole it? Do you think he just knows how to use it better, or he has some sort of like I don't know, biological connection with the like data wise? I don't know what, like, how do you think it's just like he knows how to use it better and he just took it there?
Yeah, I guess like what
that's a weakness, right?
It's just the belt, right? Like it's just the belt.
Doesn't that mean that's a weakness? Like that means like in the future, if someone wants to, it's like, when you're playing that like the rope tail ball or whatever it's called, and you have to get the people's rope. You have to like tear it from the side. That's basically all you have to do to shift to beat him. I mean, I'm not saying that's easy. He's an instantly teleporting like technology that gives an instant teleportation, and it's like, you know, he's insanely good at it. But like if Radiant Black finds that out, doesn't that mean that that's a potential weakness? You just yank the belt away.
I don't know. I think you could argue it would be kind of the same thing of like someone maybe gaining access, like someone like if some I don't know, someone who doesn't have the skills of Batman wore the bat suit, they're gonna get their
Yeah,
belt stolen, right? So
yeah.
I don't think Guy's gonna kind of have this easy, but yeah, you're right though. It is as easy as, I don't know if it's just a button or he has to actually, yeah, I don't know, or if
Dude,
it's like a symbiote
Kieran
thing,
got
or if
like
it's a symbiote
knocked
thing, but
out,
no,
bro.
yeah, no, he got the shit knocked out of him. This
But
was
do you think this was part of the plan? Because obviously in the next page we see right after incredible action sequences by Dina Kulo with colors by Walter Byron, it's just amazing stuff. Peak like action,
yeah,
massiveverse. You get this face off between the two of them, and I love the way it's structured. It's literally like the panels, two long panels. They're like almost rectangular, and there's just like these facing off, and it's him and Kieran. Kieran has that nosebleed, and he's telling him, "Look, like we want to make a killing. Like we need someone to be able to do this operation. A lot of our soldiers got killed, and the 5 Indicate suddenly became relevant." And you know what I mean? I love Shifter plays like, well, you don't start a company without a plan to sell. And the last panel is them shaking hands.
yeah. No, that was great.
Okay. Woo.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that was great. Totally great. I love how Kieran, it seems, kind of has not a grip on him, obviously, because we see Guy hates him so much and he punched him in the face. But it's very interesting that Kieran knows about his past. He knows where he's gotten these tattoos. He kind of knows about Guy, and Guy just doesn't care. He's just like Memento. He only cares about the future. Doesn't matter about the past. He's just gonna move on, and that is what it is. But yeah, it was a great setup, and I'm curious. Do you think he's gonna actually stick to his word? Like, is he gonna be faithful to the government, to Kieran, or does he still have his own motives here?
I think Guy's just after Guy. Like I think that's all he cares about. He doesn't even care about the 5 Indicate. They're just a means to an end for him, probably. So I think he's just out to get something. I don't know what that thing is, and I think that's what makes him really interesting. It's like the Joker component. You know how like Joker,
So
like nobody,
unpredictable, right?
yeah,
It's
you
so
don't, and you don't
unpredictable.
know what his origin is, so you're always interested in finding out more about him. And I feel like that's the
Yeah.
thing with Shift now. But I hope they don't drag that out forever. Like I like the breadcrumb approach that we've been getting, where we see like
Yes.
little crumbs here, little crumbs there. I think they should continue to do that. But when you read all these stories together, like when you read the whole Shift thing as one, it's so good. Like you don't need to, like even as individual chapters, they're amazing. But I mean, to have them all in the same book reprinted, it's really nice. I bought one of each cover, and yeah, I can't like I loved it. So I can't recommend this enough, guys. If you're a
Yeah.
Massiveverse fan, even if you wanted just to hear us give the review before jumping in to buy this issue, we highly recommend it. Just the art alone justifies it, but the
Yeah.
story's fantastic.
Even
too.
the book, the layout of the book itself, like you said,
Mhm.
it's got that square edge, but even inside, like I love whenever they clearly mark out the chapters. Like nothing I hate more than a trade is when they just continuously have the pages and have no stops and stuff. I get they sometimes have to do that, but it's very clean, very easy to read, and yeah, I'm assuming it's pseudo, but yeah, always kills these formats for sure.
Yeah, and you know what I realized is they give us, and we don't have to talk about this one for too long because I know there'll be plenty of interpretations and it won't matter. But they did give us a timeline. Fine, well, finally for some of you, because I know some of you guys have been asking for a long time for a timeline. And well, here, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There's the timeline. You can see it. It's at the It's at the end of the Shift book. We're not going to share everything this time just because maybe we'll make a future video about it where we condense everything in a shorter format. But right now, we want people to pick up the issue because it is really good. But yeah, they tell you the issues and the timeline. So thank you, Michael Basugo and team, for that. And then even better, they give you character design sheets in the back.
Man.
Hey.
Yeah, from Access, right? From all the way back from the Access files. I think some of these pictures were in from the Radiant Black box, all the way back. So yeah, this was great, and this actually maybe had a question. So Nakulo had the first design for Shift. Like Marcelo
Yeah.
wasn't the first person to design Shift.
No.
Okay,
I think Daniele co-created him. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. That does ring a bell. But that's that's very cool for sure. It's kind of so yeah. It was great to get him back. Obviously, we had him on Supermassive this
But
year.
even if he
It
didn't
was great,
co-create
but
him, he might have just designed him. But either way, man, Shift is
yeah,
perfection.
no,
Yeah.
that's great. All these designs are great. We got Shift will return in Radiant Black 28 and 28.5 on sale
Yeah.
January 2024, which is yeah,
Oh, dude.
insane,
Yeah. I can't believe
insane.
it. Yeah. So the next issue right back is gonna be huge. As if it couldn't get any bigger. Now we basically got guaranteed the Shift is gonna be in the next issue. Guys, pick this book up. Like
Yes.
we've been talking about this for so long. These image chapters, people have been asking about them. People have been waiting for something collected like this. This is really something a lot of people in the community have been asking for. A lot of readers. So make sure you grab this. It's $5.99, but it is square bound. There's a lot in there, and like I said, they gave us some really cool back matter. So overall, honestly, this was great. What did you think? I think every single story in here was great. Honestly, we had like two
Yeah.
amazing ones, and the rest were just incredible actions, like fight sequences and setup for the future. Honestly, they're all incredible. Like this is
Yeah.
such a good book. Yeah,
I think they were all great in their own ways, kind of like you were saying. Like each
Yeah.
artist really lended to that story.
Yeah.
I love the sit down issue with Doppler, obviously. But yeah, I
Mhm.
love they each had their own tone, their own speed, and the artist complemented that perfectly.
Mhm.
We honestly, I forgot a lot about these, so it was really nice to go back and
You know,
reread
yeah,
them.
Mhm.
And yeah, we Geraldo in there, nice recoloring as well.
yeah.
So yeah, awesome.
I feel like DC and Marvel make a lot of like $5.99 and $6.99 one shots where they're trying to summarize a lot of stuff. Like especially like for example, Beast World, Lazarus Planet. They have like these one shot tie-ins where they give you like different sides of whatever's happening. And the most recent example is like Lazarus Planet, or sorry, the Titans Beast World going into like different cities like Central City or Star City or whatever. So they have an issue for each one showing you who everyone there how. Like I feel like this kind of thing is so much better. Like giving us like a $5.99 of all these different stories, different artists, different writers, and the
Yeah.
shorter stories, but they're all like relevant in their own ways. They all have gorgeous artwork. Like this is the kind of shit that makes like an easy sell for a $5.99 book, in my opinion. So
And yeah,
yeah.
I think you nailed it there where they are relevant in their own ways and they don't have to be relevant over to the big picture. Like they don't have
Mhm.
to, like I love how I love how even going back to like some people didn't even know about this until now. So now they'll get a chance to pick this up and yeah, I'm sure have a great time with it. But yeah, it's just extra goodies for the Massiveverse and we always appreciate it and we'll always take more of it.
Yeah. And so before we head out here, guys, let me shift right on over to a different topic about the Rogue Sun podcast, where we talk about Rogue Sun. So we've stopped reviewing Rogue Sun on this show. It's just getting a bit much. So we went and created its own separate podcast where you could do everything Rogue Sun, and it's so much fun. We do it with the same crew here. You can find it on the socials at Rogue Sun Podcast. And the reason I'm telling you is because we're having a Merry Rogue Sun giveaway. We're giving away one of the incentives, and we'll post it up real soon, the next day or two, signed by Ryan Parrott. So one of the 125 variants from the Rogue Sun run signed by the main man, the co-creator and writer of the series, Ryan Parrott. So guys, check out the show. I think once we hit like 75 or 100 subscribers, we're gonna be doing that giveaway, and we're pretty close. So check that out. Rogue Sun is such a good book. If you haven't been reading that, oh my god, guys, check it
Yeah.
out. Supernatural.
Just do it already. Just do it
Yeah.
already. I'm sure you've been on the fence for a bit if you haven't, but come on, just do it. It's worth it. It's fantastic. This last issue, I was sad I couldn't make it with, to the last episode, but man, this book just keeps getting better and better, and just like Radiant Black, I just have no idea where it's gonna go, and can't wait.
Mhm. Yeah. So there you go, guys. We ended with a giveaway. Make sure you have a Merry Christmas, and if we don't release an episode before, then the Happy New Year. And we'll see you guys next time when we shift over to 2024.
Here, guys.